In this lecture, the subject of economics will be introduced from the most elementary point of view. The subject matter is not encumbered by complicated terminology or abstruse theories. Rather, it concerns the economic phenomena that are ubiquitous in everyday life, yet often go unnoticed by the individual. The field of economics is predicated on a fundamental principle, the existence of a budget for all individuals. The following experiment will require the participant to imagine that they have $200 in their pocket. It is evident that the financial resources at hand permit the acquisition of either a dining experience or footwear. However, it is not feasible to undertake both of these activities simultaneously. The selection of one option invariably entails the relinquishment of the other. The fundamental principle of economics can be summarized as follows: the optimal choice must be made within the constraints of limited financial resources. Another elementary illustration is provided by the following example. It is observed that the cost of cheese has increased from $20 to $32 at the supermarket. The price has increased, but the salary remains unchanged. This phenomenon has a direct and immediate impact on the individual. A substantial proportion of economic activity within a nation is initiated by these quotidian decisions, which ultimately have a cascading effect on the general populace. In order to comprehend the fluctuations in market prices, it is imperative to understand the fundamental principles of supply and demand. In scenarios where a commodity is in short supply and there is significant demand for it, the price tends to increase. In scenarios where the supply of a commodity exceeds the demand for it, the price of that commodity is likely to decrease. The process is uncomplicated. The occurrence of precipitation, coupled with a decline in the supply of tomatoes, results in a consequential escalation in prices. Conversely, periods of elevated production levels have been shown to result in a decline in prices. The majority of price movements adhere to this fundamental logic. The term inflation is one that has been frequently mentioned in recent discourse. Inflation can therefore be defined as a decrease in the purchasing power of money over time. Last year, $100 bought you 3 items. The present purchase is for a mere 2. The observed discrepancy can be attributed to inflation. The underlying reasons for this phenomenon require further investigation. Demand may exceed supply, resulting in production difficulties, cost escalation, or excessive market liquidity. The convergence of these factors results in a decline in the purchasing power of money. To see whether a country is growing or shrinking, we look at GDP, the total value of all goods and services produced in a year. If production increases, the economy grows. But there's an important point. If that growth doesn't reach people's pockets, they won't feel it. That's why a country can officially grow, but citizens may still feel like nothing has improved. Interest rates are also easily comprehensible. Interest is defined as the price of borrowing money. In the event of a loan of $5,000 being repaid to a financial institution, the amount received back may be found to be $1,000 greater than the original sum borrowed. This excess amount is known as interest. In periods of elevated interest rates, the approval of loans becomes more challenging, and economic activity experiences a decline. In periods of low interest rates, the approval of loans is more likely to be granted, and there is an increase in spending. Governmental bodies. Today we made a simple entry into economics, making choices, understanding price changes, seeing how money loses value, and how economies grow or shrink. All these concepts are connected. Economics seems complicated, but when explained from the right angle, it becomes very easy to understand.